This show is sponsored by Horizon HVAC, who you can count on for all of your heating and cooling needs. Today's episode is brought to you by Burns Roofing, your trusted roofing experts right here in Rhode Island. Whether you're in need of repairs, a roof full replacement, or just some professional advice, Burns Roofing has you covered. With their years of experience and commitment to quality, you can rest easy knowing your home is in good hands. Call Burns Roofing for all your roofing needs. Christopher Tasca on the podcast.
Mike, great to be here, buddy.
Thank you so much,
Great
man.
to see you.
This is a big grab for me, man. I when I started this podcast, you were one of the names that came up the most.
Really?
Yeah, I asked a few people around town. They're like, if you can get Chris on, that'd be crazy. That'd be awesome.
I'm humbled to hear that.
Yeah, man. It was you. There was a couple other people that we actually were blessed enough to get on, and dude, thank you for coming in.
Of course.
I can't wait to hear your story.
Happy to be here.
The entrepreneurial mindset is one of my favorite topics to discuss in the world.
Yep.
And I can tell that just by your presence, by the way you carry yourself, that you're very good at it and you're very passionate about it.
Yeah, I am.
What was your first venture that you got into that you were like, this is for me?
I come from an automotive family. You know, the Tasca Ford Automotive Group, those are my extended cousins. But more so, I immediately go back to the entrepreneurial spirit that my late father instilled in me. Work ethic, all focused around customer experience, customer service, and just doing the right thing. I can remember my dad dropping me off at Western Hills. And before I got out of the car, I had to look back to him, give him the thumbs up. And he would always say, do the right thing. Not that I always have, right? I've made my mistakes. But the reason I start with that is I just knew right away that like I had to get into business for myself. 16 years old, I started my own automotive reconditioning business.
Detailing
cars.
Yep. My son wants to do that.
Yeah. Hard work, man. Just, running out to a client's house, picking up his car, having it back in 3 hours, standard exterior, interior. I was nice with the Q-tips. I did everything.
The vents and everything.
Yeah.
So that gave you the sense of the distribution of money, satisfaction, customer experience.
But more so and I'm glad that we're kind of segmenting into this. A lot of people say like, oh, you're killing it, right? Or like we hear that so much in everybody's talk track.
Yeah.
And it's like, and I think about like, oh, you're killing it, or like activity is an execution. And what I mean by that is like, what drew me into being entrepreneurial is the harder that I worked, the better result that I would find. Right. And like when people approach me, because they do all the time, and they say like, oh, well, how should I better myself? I'm working harder. And I'm like, all right, well, are you making more money? Or is there a bigger result? And they're like, no. I'm like, all right, well, that's a fundamental problem. There's more activity, but there's less execution. With my entrepreneurial spirit, I'd like to think that the more that I do, the more that in turn I'm going to acquire.
Right.
My success is a byproduct.
Right.
Of like the work
of the hard work.
Of the hard work.
Of course.
Like it's never about the money.
Right.
And I can truly tell you today, I'm at a point where like, it's not about that at all.
When did you realialize that? Because it hasn't been too long since I realized that.
Recently. Yeah. I'd say.
How old are you?
36.
30. Okay. So you're a year younger than me. Maybe 3 years ago.
Same.
It clicked. And I was like, if I just reapproach everything that I enjoy to do and try to monetize the things that I love to do.
Right.
And worry about the back end later.
It's going to take care of itself.
It was kind of like a light bulb.
Totally.
But it seemed like it was so simple. But it just started falling into place where I was like, I was right. Like if don't focus on the money, I feel like that instant gratification is so bad. It's so bad because it gets you in this cycle.
Well, that's what led me down the path.
Yeah.
It makes me think, you just said, when was it for me? I put up a post of me in my tuxedo when I married Christina. And it says in my caption, you're 12 months out from where you want to be in life. Just like you just said, it talked about like how I was looking for instant gratification and I was making selfish decisions. Whereas if I had just taken a step back and focused on myself and where I wanted to really be in life, it would have given me a much better path more immediately. But I had to make mistakes.
You have to.
Everybody's going to make mistakes.
You have to, man, because it's like, that's the cornerstone of success.
Absolutely.
It's nobody is going to get to where they want to be with unscathed. It just doesn't happen.
Right.
And I feel like the bigger the lesson the bigger the lesson and the bigger mess up it is, the bigger lesson you get out of it.
Right.
And it ends up coming back to you in return times 10.
Absolutely.
It happens all the time. So you started with detailing,
right.
16. Did you start seeing success with that? Like, did you start seeing money?
I knew
and
that.
You were like,
I just, I was working harder and, I saw what my friends were making and I said, if, this whole like running my own business thing definitely is the track that I want to continue on. So, I got admitted to Fairfield University and graduated Charles F. Dolan School of Business, 2009, top of my class.
That's awesome.
I got a degree in specifically in business management with a focus on family business. Because graduating from Fairfield, I was like, okay, what am I going to do? Am I going to go work with my father? Am I going to make a run at the automotive thing? Like, I've got such a strong last name.
Which isn't an easy thing.
No, I said to myself, like, everyone was like, oh, why don't you make a run at the automotive thing? You're so passionate about cars. And I said, yeah, but like, I'm a distant cousin. There's so many other boys in front of me.
Yeah.
So like, it has to be something of my own. But I knew that I needed some life experience.
Dude, that's smart, man.
Yeah.
That's smart to acknowledge that.
I took a step back. Yeah, I took a step back and I was like, you know what? Let me get some sales experience. I think sales naturally goes with entrepreneurial efforts, if that makes sense.
Oh, yeah.
So I had a great job working at the Cintas Corporation as an outside uniform sales rep.
Mm-hmm.
Great experience there, which led to my then next job, which was working right here in Woonsocket. I worked at the Cumberland Corporate Park at the Newmark or In Music brands.
Okay.
Selling DJ equipment.
Yep.
Naturally,
I know that spot. Yeah.
Naturally, working for Newmark as an inside sales rep, I said, look, like, I'm doing really well as an inside sales rep, selling their product and service, which naturally was like equipment like this, inclusive of speakers and audio equipment, 24 single, really focused on my afternoon workout.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, let me pick up another job. Again, me being entrepreneurial.
Yeah.
So like I reached out to all my friends that were promoting in the club scene, Ed, Paul Carbone, David Bolton. And I was like, yo, you guys have any room for me to DJ? They're like, you DJ now? I'm like, yeah, I'm selling the DJ equipment. I can DJ now.
Yeah.
So like being entrepreneurial, I was like, all right, rather than go out Thursday, Friday, Saturday night and spend a couple $100, I can make a couple $100, be part of the scene, meet and date girls that way.
Yeah.
So it was a win-win. So like my point in sharing that is like, I've always kind of thought like to be proactive.
How to make money doing what I like to do.
How to make money doing what I like to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm sorry.
I didn't get that. Like when I used to party, I used to be out in the club scene and I never, I used to sell jerseys, the fidget spinners when they came out.
Yeah.
I had an aunt that bought me a triple stitched Brady jersey.
Right.
And when it came in the mail, she lived in China at the time. When it came in the mail, I'm looking at this jersey and I'm like, this is like a $300 jersey around here.
Right.
I'm like, where did you get this? So I'm thinking like she just spent $300 on me. I'm calling her, thanking her.
No, so she goes back.
She goes, Michael, I only spent $20 on that thing.
Awesome.
I'm like, light bulb.
You ordered 50 of them.
150.
Nice.
150 pieces. I got each one for $14.99 and I sold them for $75.
You sell through?
Yeah. So
dude, I did that with the Ed Hardy shirts.
I did multiple.
Remember the Ed Hardy shirts?
Yes.
Remember the Ed Hardy and Christian Dior
clothes,
shirts?
the perfumes. I remember
dude,
the towels,
I contacted
everything.
I found the guy's name.
How many China Connects did you go through?
Dude, I found the guy in London. I found the guy in London. I was like, yo, send me 1,000 units.
Yep.
And I put like 1,000 units on a credit card.
Yep.
But I sold through them.
Yeah. Dude, I used to go to tailgates. I used to go to bars.
Good for you.
Every season, like Celtic season, I would go to the stadium.
Awesome.
Patriot season, I would go to the tailgate and I would bring them everywhere. And I made like 38 grand that year.
Awesome.
And I'm like,
killing it.
Yeah. I'm like,
crushing
it. There it is.
20 years old. I'm like, dude, I'm killing it right now.
Yeah.
Then fidget spinners came out and I made like 10 grand off of that. So
sick.
I always was
Did you
thinking.
sell them at the mall?
The fidget spinners?
Yeah.
Yeah. The Emma Mall.
Dude, I think I bought one
Yeah,
from you.
maybe. Yeah, we had a booth at the Emma Mall.
Predestined.
Yeah, $600 a month they were charging me for
Look
that
at
little
that, man.
booth.
We manifested.
Yeah. We sold all sorts of stuff like phone cases and stuff like
Those
that.
bracelets when those were hot.
Oh yes,
Yeah,
the balance bracelets. Remember them?
Yeah, of
Those
course.
were crap. Dude, I fell for that.
Good for you.
I'm standing there. That was crazy.
The kids at the Providence Place Mall used to always get me to clean my shoes.
Oh yeah, me too,
yeah,
dude.
the shoe
Me too.
shine.
Me too.
Not the shoe shine, the sneaker.
No, the
kits.
sneaker cleaner.
Sneaker kits.
Yeah, the
They'd be
spray.
like, yo, bro, your
spray.
kicks look like crap.
Gotcha.
Like, what do you mean? And be like $20. Shh.
Yeah. How was school? How was that experience?
At Fairfield? Like
Yeah,
college?
yeah.
Awesome
I
experience.
wish I went to school, man. I really do. I wish I would have gotten more business.
My late father said something to me that stuck with me when he was alive. He said that education is wasted on the youth.
Mm.
And that kind of really resonated with me because
so true.
Now that I'm older, it absolutely, in my opinion, is. Don't get me wrong. Like there's certain skill sets that require
Yeah, the basics.
the basics,
Right.
Pre-med. You don't want kids that are pre-med students kind of goofing off.
Right.
I did well at Fairfield, but like I didn't dive into the books.
Yeah.
Like I got through by
Just passing the test.
group study
Yeah.
programs, passing the tests,
Yeah.
being really active during the classroom. So like my participation like this was always really well.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, I built a decent network at Fairfield. My alma mater, my alumni, Bishop Hendricken, is like my bread and butter.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I love
As
that.
far as like
I
your
love-
networking and stuff.
I love that place.
Yeah.
That place absolutely made me who I am.
Really?
Absolutely.
Your
Huh.
other family.
Yep.
So you're still in contact with a lot
Oh
of those
yeah,
guys
Bishop.
today?
Yeah. Bishop Hendricken High School, 2005.
That's a great high school.
Oh, dude,
That's a great high
It was
school.
awesome. It was
No,
awesome.
it really is. I mean,
Really?
I come from Cumberland, and they people would leave Cumberland to go to Bishop.
Really?
Like, yeah, I remember.
Super competitive, all male
Ooh.
Catholic school.
Yeah.
Really?
Oh, dude,
Good
like,
football team. Good
great football,
team.
great sports.
Yeah.
And like I graduated from Western Cranston, Western Hills, and like I was good at baseball. I was good at hockey. And then I got to Hendricken. And I was like, ugh, like I'm kind of just mediocre.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. No, it's like, yeah.
So they're just top dog and
They-
in all
well,
their
they
subjects.
Top
recruit.
dog and everything.
they recruit. They recruit.
Yeah. And
Oh,
everything
okay.
was like, I was like, oh man, I got to fight for my position for this. And I
Yeah.
learned a lot about preparing for the worst in life at
Yeah.
Hendricken. I learned a lot of lessons, like, because again, I graduated, top of my class, best catcher to come out of Western Cranston. And I was like, all right, I'm just going to run the show at Bishop Hendricken. I didn't play baseball there my senior year. They cut me.
Wow. At Bishop.
It's crazy.
Yep.
Yes.
So that was definitely a reality call.
Oh,
like,
reality
you know
check.
what? Here I am thinking I was already the top.
This
but
is
I'm
my
gonna have
life.
to work harder. Yeah.
This is my life. And then I'm just run of the mill.
That gives you fire, though, man. That kind of stuff
Oh, dude, I
fires
love it.
me.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
love
yeah.
it.
Fires me up.
I see the guys like I'll tell you a quick story. Most recently, one of the teams, the hockey team, I'm still pretty active with the hockey team. Officially, I'm a very active alumni member. I'm part of their
Do you
business.
play with Ed? Ed plays hockey too,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, of course.
I heard he's a little animal on the ice.
Eddie's impressive.
Is he?
Yeah.
Shout out to Ed, man.
Yeah, he
What's
moves
up, Ed?
well. Yeah, Eddie, what's up? I'm still at the Thirsty Beaver once a week.
Hell yeah.
Oh, good for you.
Um,
Good support.
I'm still a pretty active alumni at Hendricken, specifically with the business and finance committee. My cousin is Mark DeCiccio. He's the principal.
Okay.
I mean, we're in there together, like shaking the tree, and we've got the support from the diocese. Is that how you say that? Diocese. But quick story is 2 years ago, the hockey team won the state championship. They've won it 2 years in a row. And the head coach, Mike Sosha, he benched his son, and his son was a senior.
Wow.
For
During
what
the-
reason?
Wasn't the
He
best player on the
wasn't
team.
good enough as far as
Championship team
Wow.
didn't play. His son. I ran into Michael at church because Michael and I go to Holy Apostles. I'm at church every Sunday morning, 8 a.m. And I said to Michael, I said, don't worry about it. I said, I know that it's probably the worst thing in your life right now. I said, but it's going to teach you about preparing
Dude,
for
you're so
things in
right.
life. Like, I'm like, it's not even important. I promise you.
Please go into that a little bit, because I want him to hear my method about that.
So I'm not originally from Rhode Island.
Right.
And when we came to Cumberland, it was for several reasons. One, I like the school district, and I did see that there was a little bit of competitive sports here in the surrounding areas. And coming from different states, I'm prior military, so we've moved different states. My children have always been the best in sports, kind of like your experience,
Right.
where you were the best at where you were, but then when you elevated up, then you realize, oh, well, they have to fight for it. So since we've been to Cumberland, I've been a little edgy with the sports system because my children aren't making the teams.
Right.
And for me, I'm like justifying it. Well, they've always been good, and it's because we're new in town and they don't know us. But Michael took the time to say, no, you know what? This is tough love. Like, they were probably good then, but they're not good enough now.
Totally.
And it's not a bad thing.
It's not a bad
No,
thing.
not at all.
It's just they need to level up.
It's an
And
adjustment.
and it's adjustment.
It's an adjustment.
It's growth. It's growing. He said it's not that they're bad, but their skills could be tighter.
Mhm.
It's just so it's another lesson with mindset. Like, you can't take it personal. You just have to be better than what
Totally.
you are.
You have to. There has to be a level of obsession when you start getting into a genre or whatever field you want to get into. Like, when I wanted to learn about stocks, this was 2016.
Yeah.
I didn't know what a short was. I didn't know what a chart. I didn't know what anything was about stocks. I became so obsessed that I stayed up. I was up from market open till 11 o'clock at night,
Good for you.
just looking at every YouTube video, looking at every chart,
Watching The Big Short on replay.
Just everything. I consumed everything. I did that for 4 years to the point where I became very successful in the stock market.
Good for you, man.
I know how to trade stocks. I know trends. I can just read it now. But my point is you have to put the time in order to see the results.
Absolutely.
You can't just expect to be good at something.
Oh, no chance.
And listen, they're talented. Cash, my stepson Cash and Cam,
yeah.
super talented. Camden's a great basketball player.
How old are they?
Camden's 14. So
Yeah.
Camden and his son Mikey are the ones that brought us together.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then Cashton is 12. So
Yep.
Oh, wow. Now
Yeah.
it's getting fun.
Yeah,
They
dude, it is
are-
fun.
Because they're like little dudes.
and
Yeah.
they're learning right now through everything that we're doing. Michael suggested, why don't you guys just start making clips for us? So they started making clips out of these podcasts.
Yeah.
That's a skill.
Yeah.
dude.
That's
I think about this
invaluable.
all the time. I say, man, I wish
Yes.
that we had content back in the day.
Yeah.
me too, man.
Like I would have done the highlight
Me
reels.
too. I know.
I would have sold myself
I
so
know.
much better
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
in my adolescence.
I know. Right now we're working on Horizon. I want to dominate the Rhode Island area for Horizon.
Good for you.
We're already taking over Cumberland really strong.
Have you seen the latest Forbes article?
No.
HVAC, plumbers, electricians.
Yeah, we need to print that out.
Yeah.
We need to print that out.
I'm on Forbes every day. I've been noted in Forbes 3 times.
Oh, that's awesome, man.
wow.
Thank you.
Babe, you bought me a Forbes and you put it on my desk and
Yeah.
said one day.
Yeah.
Yep, bang right there. This
it's gonna
broker's selling
happen.
private jets from a billboard.
How did you get it on Forbes? Did they contact you?
No, they just reached out to me.
Did they?
Wow.
They just reached out to me. They go,
Oh,
"Are
I
you Chris?"
heard it.
They go, "Are you Chris Tasca?" I said, "Yeah." They said, "You're selling private jets from a
What?
billboard?" I said, "There needs to be." I
Dude.
quoted it from American Psycho. I go, "There needs to be a return to archaic, to archaic, traditional,
Go-
moral value." Bang,
That's great.
Ash, clip it
That's great.
with Patrick Bateman right here, right above me.
That's great.
And yeah, I mean, I didn't get a lot of business specifically from the billboard,
hmm
but Forbes picked it up.
That's incredible.
I have relationships to this day that are testaments of this article.
How long did you
Wow,
have
man.
this billboard up and running?
6 months?
That's it.
Yeah, 6
Not
months.
bad.
Maybe I'll run it again just because
Did
of this.
you did you get any business from it?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. A lot of people would drive by. They'd be like, "Hey, I'm interested in learning about private jet travel." Chris Tasca, oh, like the car company? Yeah, like the car company. I happen to be the pilot of the family, blah, 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 blah.
Did you get your
Private
license?
pilot. Yeah.
Dude, let's talk about that.
That's where I was going. Yeah,
Yes.
we're
Let's talk
jumping.
about
I
This
that.
is
love
your
it, though.
campaign?
Yeah, this is my
Let's
campaign.
go.
So to dial it back to my adolescence, 1986, Top Gun, Tom Cruise changed my life. Right.
Oh, excellent.
The
I
white
wanted to be
t-shirt.
a pilot in the Navy. That was my thing.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't have the skill set or the mindset to become a neurosurgeon, but I can absolutely fly a fighter jet. Like
yeah.
I can do it. So everything at Fairfield was like, all right, developing myself for the Navy, creating that whole character, outstanding athletic performance and athletic ability, well-rounded, multifaceted, bilingual. Like I was checking all the boxes to be an officer in the Navy.
Yeah.
ROTC, OCS, the whole bit. And then a baseball injury at Fairfield permitted me from 2009. I can picture the recruiters. Chris, it's 2009. The economy's low, retention's high. The people that are getting an OCS, are so well-rounded. These are their resumes. And I was like, can I get my commercial pilot license, or can I acquire my private pilot's license? They said it could help, but it's the summer of 2012. I'm working full time, and I'm like, you know what? I need to take it upon myself. I'm driving by TF Green, and right on the side of the building it says "Learn to fly here, Horizon Aviation," which is funny because
Horizon
Horizon
Aviation.
Aviation.
So
I love
like
it.
that's all coming back.
Yeah.
And I enrolled myself in ground school. I ended up finishing my ground school at North Central Flight Center, which was recently acquired by my buddy Dan, also in the HVAC space. So shout out to Danny. And completed my ground school there at North Central Flight Center. I came in one day. I was working on my student pilot license, and I saw Kenny Chesney
Love the
land
country
at
center.
North Central, which is right here in Smithfield.
Yeah.
He was getting ready to do Country Fest. And I was like, wow, that Falcon 900 is bad ass.
You knew exactly what it was.
And I was like, that thing is awesome. And my father was alive at the time. This was 6 months before I got sick. And I said, Dad, I think this aviation thing's got some legs to it. And he's like, what do you mean? I'm like, I don't know. I just want to learn this aviation space. And he was excited because it kind of got my mind off becoming a pilot in the Navy. because he's thinking like a dad. I don't want to lose my son.
Of course.
And I said, you know what? I'm going to learn a lot about this business. And I was quickly introduced through a friend to a company called Magellan Jets in Boston. I'll be forever grateful to them and their leadership team for kind of taking me under their wing. But, just like you, relentless follow-up, the follow-ups and the fortune. Every day, applying. No aviation background whatsoever, aside from my flying ability. But, great entrepreneurial skill set. 3 or 4 years of outside sales post-graduation from Fairfield. The leadership team took a chance on me. They're like, look, we can't give you a salary. It's 100% commission. We can't give you a desk. We're going to put you in the hallway. But we'll teach you this business. And if you take something from each one of us, and 5 years later, year over year, I was their top employee. Employee number 5, I helped them grow Magellan from, I think, $2 million in revenue to $50 million in revenue.
Wow.
Worked my way up to partner, and here we are.
You see what you did, though? You didn't think about the money.
Not at all.
So I
followed a passion of mine.
You followed a passion.
Yeah,
and you stayed consistent for 5 years. That's the magic
I
number.
just knew. I was like, wow, the people that use these planes are like next level.
Yeah.
Right.
High net worth individuals, C-level executives, celebrities, athletes. And I was like, if I have the ability to if I'm privileged enough to to give them a platform to conduct business, I'm only going to be able to learn.
That's so smart, man.
Yeah.
So I was like, wow, if I have the ability to interact with these people, and now that I'm 12 years into my career, you can't imagine some of the gratitude gestures that not employees. You can't imagine some of the gestures of gratitude that my customers have been like, hey, thanks for getting me out of this situation.
Getting them out of jams, legitimately.
Oh, dude, one of my best customers, he's based out of, I've done really well in my career with video game developers. I was a big video game guy growing up. So I would just reach out to them and I'd be like, hey guys, Chris Tasca, Fly Alliance, really interested in being of resource. I understand that you're an aircraft owner or you're with NetJets or whomever. If I could be of any resource to supplemental lift issues, Chris, well, tell me about that a little bit. And just cold call.
Are you looking for customers to rent your
every day? Every
Okay.
day. I've got 15 sales directors today that are savages.
Wow.
Archaic cold call. That's it. Don't get me wrong. I have a decent SEO, pay-per-click presence, website optimization.
What do you think SEO?
I think it's
Pyramids, right?
it's an industry that's so littered with a claims agenda.
Yeah.
Oh, we're going to claim, we're claiming we can do
This
and
person does it this way.
and here's
this guy,
my $5,000 fee for that.
Yeah.
Dude,
you know what I did?
100 outbound dials a day, decent fortunes in the follow-up, handwritten cards.
Law of numbers.
Dude, I tell my guys, I say, look, if you develop as a professional and you follow your development, as a professional and you match that in your personal development, and that, that creates this work ethic where you're naturally just trying to grow as a person, you're going to be successful as a product of that. Does that make sense?
Of course, yeah.
Really quickly, going back to the story. So one of my good clients calls me up. He goes, Chris. I go, yeah. He goes, my son's at the house in Maui when the Maui fires lit up. I said, how bad? He goes, the house is destroyed. $80 million house. In Maui, 80 million. House is destroyed. I said, where's your son? He said, my son's on the beach. He's completely surrounded, engulfed in flame. The beach is keeping him alive.
Are you kidding me?
Swear to God to you, right? Because think about it, right? If you think of the geography of a beach, a fire can't come on to the beach.
Right.
He's hanging out in waist deep water.
Wow.
I go, how can I communicate with him? He's like, I'm communicating with him through a neighbor and they're doing hand signals. Long story short, I contract a local expired Coast Guard cutter. I literally get on Yellow Pages. I have my entire sales team stop what they're doing. We start working our way from Maui to the port of Kauai. We're contacting every local fisherman. And we're like, hey, Chris Tasca with Fly Alliance. We understand that your world has been flipped upside down. We've got a very VIP client whose family needs to be picked up on the beach. After 3 hours, we grab this retired Coast Guard cutter with an able-bodied captain. And he's like, I could go there right now. You got to Venmo me $6,000.
Wow.
I go, no problem. I Venmo him the $6,000. He grabs his boat. It's a 1-hour drive from the port to the private beach. He literally sends me pictures of them throwing suitcases onto the Coast Guard cutter from the water. Coast Guard cutter goes back to the port. I've got a black SUV waiting there. Black SUV brings him to the Maui airport. One of my Gulfstreams there flies him home. I said to my client, I said, what'd you think of that? He goes, thanks.
Meant the world to me.
I'm like, that's it. I go, that's it. He goes, good, thanks. Good job. My point is that's how demanding. That's why, like, when I get home from work and I'm like working through an issue with my wife, or as it relates to the kids, or, you know, if I'm helping another like-minded entrepreneur and I'm like, dude, like, you don't realize like the type of people that I've been working with all day. Like, this is like soft play.
This is easy.
This is simple.
Yeah.
I just helped $1 billion guy save his son.
Oh my gosh, man.
Who, and you would have thought that he would have, you know, maybe
groveled to you.
Yeah. He just hits me with the thanks, period.
Thumbs up.
Thumbs up.
But if you look at it, that is their expectation of life. Like, it should be this way. There should be no other question about the quality of his son.
Yeah, 100%.
You know, this was an everyday. He has 6,000. What is 6,000? He just got his son out of the beach.
Oh, dude, the flight home from Maui to Hawaii was $200,000.
Yeah, I was gonna say it probably cost him a lot.
The flight from Maui to back to California was $200,000 because it was an adverse situation. He paid it without hesitation. But like, my point is that like, everybody says to me, hey, I want to make a run in aviation. I want to get in aviation. I'm like, how comfortable are you in high stress environments and meeting the needs of very demanding people? Because we do stuff like that and they just hit you with a thumbs up emoji.
Keep it moving.
Keep it moving.
Keep it moving.
Business as usual.
Yeah.
Yep.
I literally I shut the laptop, like typical laptop shut scene. I go, Christina, I got it.
That's incredible, Chris.
And that was it.
That's incredible.
The relief and the
You'll love this. You'll love this.
positivity.
So you're like thinking, all right, you know, the entrepreneurial effort from, you know, my years outside of college, what's helped me the most. So I graduated in 2009, doing the car detailing thing. I'm busting my ass, valeting cars up on Federal Hill. And I said to my dad's like, what do you think? And I'm like, I'm kind of not done with baseball. And a lot of the guys that are watching will know where I'm going with this, but he's like, well, what do you think? I go, I want to become a professional baseball umpire.
Oh, I saw that. I saw that. Okay.
He goes, really? I go, yeah. He goes, man, I didn't really like put you through Fairfield to do that. You know, Fairfield's like $60,000 a year. And I was like, yeah, I know. You know, I graduated from classic clip. Like, I walked across the stage, shook the dean's hand, grabbed my diploma. I like handed it to my dad. I go, here's your receipt, you know, the whole bit. And then long story short, so I go, yeah, I'm going to move down to Daytona Beach and I'm going to become a professional baseball umpire. And I did.
I moved
wow,
yeah, no, he did. I read that article.
I moved down to January 2010, dropped what I was doing, moved down to Daytona Beach for 6 weeks, became a professional baseball umpire, had a quick little stint in the minors, but it taught me more about decision-making in high-stress environments. Think about it. These are up-and-coming Major League Baseball players. And all the leadership and coaching teams that support these players are previous professional athletes.
Yeah.
So you think about it, like, I'm a 23-year-old. I was built. I was like you then.
Yeah.
Like, I had big shoulders, big arms. Like, I try to make like this big presence on the field. You talk about like learning about decision-making and making quick decisions in high-stress environments.
Yeah.
My experience as a Major League Baseball umpire or minor league baseball umpire, in this particular case, gave me such a skill set and so much life advice that I still apply it to this day. Like,
was it the fast thinking and being right on that decision
and being emotionless?
Right.
Think about it, right? I saw a GIF or a meme the other day on social media that stuck with me. Right there, he's got it. Choices made in anger cannot be undone.
Yeah,
dude,
true.
that stuck with me because the people that are closest to me, you know, the guys that work with me at Alliance, my wife, my immediate friend group, like, they've seen me react emotionally and I lose it.
Yeah.
Like, and that's where, like, my biggest, like, I take ownership of it. Like, my biggest setback's my temper.
Yeah.
But I've developed a lot in the last 5 years.
I shut down.
I do not let myself lose my temper anymore because you just embarrass yourself.
You do, man.
It's true. That's what I love about psychology is once you learn about the brain then you start seeing where your flaws are, and
Right.
it gives you exactly what you need to work on.
Right.
And it's not an overnight thing, but it's a lifelong journey where you're trying to fix yourself for the better. But it all boils down to your brain and your mindset and psychology of it.
Yeah. And you're leaving yourself super vulnerable in front of people that need to see you as a leader.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
you walk
exactly.
into that room, you need to command a presence. You need to say the boss is in the room, all attention. If you start losing it and start, displaying emotion all over the place, and you're all, it's not a good look.
Not a good look.
And people will follow that.
Yeah,
because
they will.
because naturally they will follow you.
You give them an inch, they'll take a mile. With
Yeah.
it, big time.
Yeah.
I'm all about sharing I still get emotional in a positive way with my sales team.
Me too.
At my company wide manager meetings.
Yeah.
But I do that to show empathy. I do that to display how much I care about the brand and the customer experience. I've positioned Fly Alliance as an alternative provider. I really focus on company culture. Like that's a big, big thing for me.
You have everyone drinking your juice.
I really focus on company culture, workplace environment. The success is just a byproduct. I truly mean that.
That's a good lesson.
Yeah.
Yep.
Seriously.
Vivint does that as well.
Company
Everybody.
culture, workplace environment, byproduct is success.
True.
I don't micromanage anyone. I say, look, I need you to want to work harder than me. And if you're not the right fit for this company. And I think that I do a good job conveying the right positive emotion because it relates to the experience for my customer. My customers, these demanding people that we've been talking about, they give us one opportunity, right?
Yeah.
We've been prospecting them. Some of our sales cycles are 2, 3, 5 years. They give us one opportunity. If we don't execute on that, done. They go, told you so. This is why I didn't do it.
Yep. So it's like that in HVAC a lot too.
That's why
In
I
any
say,
business.
every single experience, whether you're a cabin attendant, whether you're a pilot, whether you're an operations director, whether you're a scheduler, like the interaction with the customer experience needs to be, we remain at your service.
Yeah.
So how many jets do you charter?
We have 25 today.
So these are all your personal jets at your location for Alliance.
Right. Yeah. So Fly Alliance, here's the plug. So 12 years in aviation. First 5 years was with Magellan Jets. And then my partner, Kevin Wargo, welcomed me to his previous group, the Dumont Aviation Group. And his leadership team took a significant turn in direction. So I said, Kevin, if you're going, I'm resigning. I resigned that night. It was in June of 2019. And he said, what are we going to do? I said, you extended your hand to me in November of 2016. I'm extending my hand to you in June of 2019. Said Fly Alliance. That's our alliance to one another. $50,000 investment. We did a $50,000 investment
Each.
So on a $100,000 investment, we built a $200 million company.
How did you do that on $100,000?
That was so epic.
I need to know this.
Yeah. It's never been about. Yeah, it's never been about the money.
He's a numbers guy though.
Yeah,
so
but
when you start
that
saying
doesn't add
numbers,
up.
Cash flow, man. Cash flow. Just how do we build it from $100,000 to $200 million?
Like what was your first step to get you to the point where you were like
Putting the band back together.
putting your crew back together? All right, let's take a quick commercial break to bring you our sponsor, Burns Roofing. I've been personal friends with Eric for over 20 years. He's an incredible stand-up businessman. And if you ever need anything regarding roofing in Rhode Island and Massachusetts, give them a call. They do honest, hard work, and he is my go-to whenever I need anything in roofing needs. Today's episode is sponsored by Sacred Anchor Tattoo, Woonsocket's go-to spot for quality, custom tattoo artistry. Known for their skilled artists and welcoming studio vibe, Sacred Anchor Tattoo brings each client's vision to life with precision and creativity. If you're looking to add some unique ink or bring an idea to life, visit Sacred Anchor Tattoo and experience artistry you can wear with pride. Today's episode is brought to you in part by Pro Landscaping, Rhode Island's trusted partner in creating beautiful, functional outdoor spaces. From detailed lawn care to full-scale landscape design and hardscape installations, they bring expertise and a commitment to excellence to every project. If you're looking to elevate your property with skilled, reliable professionals, Pro Landscaping is here to make it happen.
Kevin said, how are you going to start Kevin said, my partner's brilliant. I say this to them. I say this to everybody. any day of the week. Like the best deal that I've ever negotiated in my life is my partnership with Kevin. My partner, Kevin, is an animal, like a workaholic.
How important is it having an absolute beast of a partner?
Like critical.
Yeah.
None of this happens without my partnership with him. And we have other partners, which I'm really proud of. But my partnership with him, like the way that when he got terminated from a company that he started in June of 2019, I go, where are you? He goes, I'm in Phoenix. I go, I'm flying there right now. I go, are you okay to play into your psychology? And he goes, no, I'm not really. I said, do you want me to come there? And he said, no, I'm on the next flight to Philly because he lived in Philadelphia at the time. And he goes, what are you going to do? I go, I just resigned. He goes, what about the kids? You know, you've got a family to look after. And I said, doesn't matter. I got terminated from Magellan. You stuck your hand out. I was on a plane to see you the next day. You just got terminated from Dumont. Took a couple of weeks to kind of set the business plan. July 1st, 2019, $100,000. I don't even think about the 200 million. That's like I'm not even worried about. That's a measurement. July 1st, 2019 to July 1st, 2024, 225 full-time jobs through a pandemic. Never laid anybody off. Number one.
In such an incredible like space too.
Six locations, 25 aircraft at 1.30, and 3 years in a row named the top 20 provider in the country.
Dude, that's incredible.
Thank you.
Did you see an increase during COVID?
Oh yeah, it was crazy.
Because of the whole fly situation?
Well,
because dude, that's an angle right there. I mean, at you kind of started it at like a crazy time.
That's when I met Christina.
Oh.
Like I meet Christina in March and I'm like, I'm 6 months into this business. I'm completely broke, you know, personally.
Yeah.
Happy to take ownership in that.
Of course, it happens.
You know, and I'm like, look, I'm completely invested in my brand. I don't know what's going to happen. The entire world just got shut down. I said, if the southeastern corridor of the country reopens, we'll be good. So you might remember in May of 2020 was when Florida was like,
yeah.
we're going to do our own thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, that's my ticket. And that's kind of when the corridor up and down the East Coast kind of reactivated for private jet travel.
Wow.
And the PPP loans came in.
Jeez.
Then it was great. Then it was
Killing it.
Gravy.
Jeez.
Gravy. We had double-digit growth month over month. We've had double-digit growth month over month since inception.
Oh, so you didn't even see
We've never regressed.
You didn't even see a decline after COVID, like kind of calmed down.
We never have, because I'm positioned as an alternative. People are like, wow, you're genius for that. But like, aren't you worried about the economy and the election? I'm like, no, because our customers see us as an alternative provider. You know, they fly with NetJets. They fly with FlexJet. They're aircraft owners. Let me tell you, they're not going to stop flying privately. In a downed economy, in a bad election year, they're going to say, how can I fly privately for less?
Is it because their
Alliance.
Is it because their jets are already being chartered?
Their jet may be down for maintenance.
Gotcha.
Their jet may not be available for use.
Gotcha.
Private jet aircraft ownership is like way more expensive than chartering through us.
Yeah.
So to answer your question in a long-winded way, you know, when we started the business, Kevin was genius. He put together 4 different divisions. He was like, look, the 4 different divisions under the Alliance Aviation umbrella,
like tiers
need to compete with one another. We're not going to source anything out. We're going to have 4 different companies.
Super smart.
Which we still do today. And they compete with each other.
Wow.
And they don't borrow each other's money. They're separate operating
That's
entities.
super smart.
Super smart.
Different prices, obviously.
Yeah. Like we it's full-blown competition between the brands.
Wow.
And
you created your own competition.
Exactly.
So it's like Priceline, Travelocity, like
but
if you were in those
we
sectors.
We created a Fly Alliance retail program. We created a Fly Alliance operations program, Fly Alliance parts, and Fly Alliance
He created his own competition, which is him.
Right. Yeah.
Correct.
That's cool.
So initially,
like my sales guys will be like, oh, what are you buying it for? And I'm like, I don't know. You tell me. Like I'll compete with them on it. Like I create like this, not animosity, but this competitive environment.
How'd you buy your first jet? Like how did the first jet come about?
OPM, other people's money.
Really?
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
Usually, I think.
Well, it's a great pitch. So, like I'd say, hey, Mike, you're a wealthy, high net worth guy. I'd say, hey, Mike, Chris Tasca, Fly Alliance, made a lot of money this past year with the COVID boom. Absolutely, Chris. Perfect. You know, I understand through, you know, my platforms that you own a Challenger 300. Yep, I do. Do you need more scheduled depreciation this year? you're going to make $10 million. You're going to pay $4 million in sales tax on that $10 million. If you buy a $10 million airplane with me that I can help you finance, so you'd only put $1 million down, I can give you a full write-off. You're not going to pay any taxes.
Who finances it?
We do.
Okay, so
we have banking partners that finance.
So you take their down.
Who's going to finance the plane for me? I've got a membership. Think about it. My customers are banking people, our family office, our private equity, our lenders. Those are the people that utilize private jet travel. So I would just go out and I would create a product. I would create a product that I would resell to them. So I'd say, hey, Mike, listen, I know that you're going to have a big year-end tax bill, $10 million bill. Buy this airplane. It's $10 million in cost. We can finance it with $1 million down payment. You still, with $1 million down, you can still take depreciation on the full $10 million and not pay any taxes this year.
Right.
You're then going to lease the airplane back to me, and I'm going to make it available to use for other customers like Ash that are going to bring your cost of operation down. So when you use the plane, you use it for free.
Wow.
That's incredible. So
we've built up a fleet of 30 airplanes with 5 guys.
Wow.
Just because we've proven the model, we redo it.
So your hangar, where's your hangar at?
We have 2 hangars. One in our primary hangars in Stuart, Florida, which is just
spot.
Beautiful spot.
Yeah.
When you do 15 and 15?
No, so that's the beauty to our business. We float the planes.
Oh, okay.
The airplanes are never in their home base.
Okay.
Unless they're there for maintenance reasons.
And is that for availability reasons for different customers?
No, it relates to the way that we can so again, we're positioned as an alternative provider. So we have to, our pricing has to reflect that. So because of that, we take on the risk of floating the airplanes.
Got it.
And in turn, our flagship product, which is our jet card product, where you buy a block of hours in a specific type of airplane and simply debit away at the hours as you fly.
Mm-hmm.
Considering that my airplanes are all over the country, I can provide them guaranteed availability anywhere in the country in 8 hours notice or less. 8 hours. So you've got a jet card product with me, which is my most popular product. You buy a 25-hour card and a specific type of airplane. You could be in Woonsocket, Rhode Island.
Is that a monthly payment?
No, you buy all 25 hours up front.
A yearly membership or something?
Yeah, the hours never expire. We have a money back satisfaction guarantee.
Got it.
But you just buy 25, 50, 100 hours increments. And you're like, look, I don't want to deal with all the headaches to aircraft ownership because there are a lot of obstacles to overcome, but I just still want to use the airplane. Great. Well, you could be in Woonsocket, Rhode Island, Providence, Rhode Island, Los Angeles, California, Chicago, Illinois, and you've got guaranteed access to that airplane, point-to-point pricing. You're not going to pay for the repositioning. You're going to specifically pay for your flight from Chicago back to Providence. That's it.
So I have 100 hours.
Yeah.
I buy the 100 hours. That is wheels up to my location.
Wheels down.
Wheels down. That's the end of the time.
That's it.
Takes off the 100 hours, move on to the next flight.
And now, again, think back to how I've built my fleet. I've promised the people that have made a commitment. So individuals have made a purchase on a promissory from me that I'm going to use those planes for other members.
Right.
So now you can see how the businesses kind of compete with one another.
Yes.
So I have the demand that I promised to my owners in terms of fulfillment. So it's important for me to build up my membership community who fly anywhere from 25 to 100 hours a year. We have 250 active members today, flying those 25 to 100 hours a year, being serviced by 25 aircraft. And the beauty to our aircraft operation is the optimization. It's that the planes never fly empty. They're always in the right position at the right time. And then it's just economies of scale.
And you only have 5 guys doing that? Or no, you have a whole crew doing
No. You're thinking of my ownership basis.
Your core is 5.
Yeah. I have like 5 family offices that have helped, that believe in Kevin and Chris.
Yep.
And have helped us grow our fleet. In turn, their benefit has been depreciation. They haven't paid taxes in 5 years.
Yeah.
That's a big win.
Yeah, that's huge.
It's huge.
Yeah.
And in turn, I've got 225 people that I employ that sell these airplanes, dispatch these airplanes, fly these airplanes, fix these airplanes. We then buy the airplanes when they're end of life. We disassemble them. We resell the parts.
Wow.
So we have exit strategies galore.
I don't even want to know what your payroll is.
It's a lot. It's a lot.
It's insane.
It's a lot.
That's crazy.
A lot.
Do you have any other competition? Is there
of course.
A lot of other companies doing
this?
There's
not a lot of guys. There's not one company that does exactly what we do. There's not one company out there today in North America that says that they've got a retail arm and operations, parts and maintenance. But there are a number of competitors out there that do one of those 4 things. But there's no one that does all 4. That's why I think why I think the company's worth what it's worth.
Does your wife have any any role in the business?
Christina? No, she could sell it to you just as well as I can.
Yeah.
Because again, like,
She was with it from the start.
yeah, my team is at the office every day, 8:30 to 5. But I tell them, I said, aviation is an absolute lifestyle. Like I'm not saying there might be a chance you're going to be interrupted at dinner or at a wedding. Like it's going to happen. And you need to be okay with that.
Meaning your phone's going to ring.
Your phone's going to ring.
Somebody's going to be stuck in Maui. You need to figure it out.
And you need to figure it out.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
Like we are a get shit done group. Bottom line.
Yeah.
And again, I've got the right people. Like I set that expectation, whether it's a sales guy or a maintenance technician. I set that expectation up front with the hiring, and those are the people I bring on. And I compensate my people really well.
Yeah, you have to.
I overpay.
That's awesome.
I overpay, but I change their it pays off. They're happy. The workplace environment, company culture, it's just a place of productivity.
Dude, there is nothing worse than going into a workspace, and I've worked in unions and different other companies, and when there is just that down feeling of like, I don't want to be here today, there's nothing worse than that. It's like you're like going to jail for 8 hours and then like trapped, trying to escape. So when you have the ability to give leeway to your people and like make it a comfortable workspace for them, give them correct, good earning, it makes the whole difference. I do that with my team too.
Yeah, it's awesome.
We give them bonuses all the time.
You got to do it. It means the world.
It does.
Like whether it's an additional commission for one of the sales guys or some type of life experience for an admin employee, it goes a long way.
Yeah. I have a question about the difference between a flat floor and a curved floor.
Yeah, love it.
Love it. What is that?
The flat floor is the ticket.
Is it?
Why?
Yeah.
Why is it so much more money?
Call that the sunken aisle.
Is that a sale point?
No, it's just a different category of aircraft. So you've got four primary
experience, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a taxi cab.
Because I hear people saying, I got the flat floor. I got the
wide body flat floor with the cabin attendant.
Wes Watson, all those guys.
Nice.
Who does all your marketing, first of all? Because your marketing is beautiful.
Believe it or not, one of my cabin attendants.
Really?
Yeah, we were going through the whole SEO pay-per-click thing, and we were looking at all the cabin attendants that work for us. And like this one girl had a really great aesthetic profile. Now, granted, I don't have the most profound influence of people. We're working on it, but like I like the aesthetic.
How many followers do you have? Go up.
I think like 7,000.
That's
it makes
awesome.
It so personal. With the smiles,
the
dog. I love.
Go to Reels, Ash. Go over to Reels.
Look at those seats.
Is that a flat floor?
Flat floor, baby. Gulfstream 5. That plane.
Chris, that thing looks like a tour bus.
Dude, we're doing a podcast on it.
Yes, let's do it. That would be insane.
My
that would be insane.
Let's
do it.
The name Fly Alliance is so dope, dude.
Visceral thing.
Well, it's just because how it was born.
Yeah.
It's because
you guys
were both in like a
turmoil.
Turmoil. And we
realigned with one another.
Yeah.
We talk about it, and we talk about it on us. We talk about it with every single customer. And
is that a kitchen?
Yeah, they have.
Did I just see a kitchen?
They have full galleys.
Are you serious?
Yeah, full galleys. No, you know what it is, man. As we're looking at the planes, I've put together, like, going back to the initial story, like I put the band back together. So when Kevin was like, "How are you going to spring shot sales?"
Look at this. Sorry.
He said, "How are you going to spring shot sales?" I said, "I'm going to put the band back together from Magellan." So right after I got fired from Magellan Jets, think about it. I got fired. I was their top guy 5 years in a row.
Can you say why?
I went against the grain. Overnight, 2012, 13, 14, my father passes away, pancreatic cancer, 6 months. I'm driving an hour and a half to work each way, 100% commission, no salary. So when people come to the office and they're like, "Oh yeah, I need like a big base salary and this is what I need," I'm like, pound sand, dude. Like, I know it's necessary to do this. It was just, Magellan Jets was great because it was just all about customer experience, 2012 through 2015. And then in 16, things just changed. They brought on this sourcing manager, this sales manager, just mismanagement. Yeah. And it just created a bad culture. And like every single sales meeting, I was like, "Nope, that's not how we do things around here." And then after one day, they just terminated me.
Did you see a change in the company after you left? Did you keep in touch with people that were there? And
they all work for me now.
That's how awesome does that feel?
They all work for me. Everybody that worked there at the time now works for me.
That's incredible.
And I've built a company that's 5 times their size.
My friend Mike Sicken did that. Shout out to Mike Sicken.
Mike, what's up?
You know Mike?
No, I just want to say hi to Mike.
What's up?
What's up, Mike? He worked for Dejana. Building out work trucks and outfitting them and stuff like that. he ended up, I don't know what happened but he ended up leaving. And when he left, he was running that whole division. When he left, he started his own thing, and everybody from Dejana.
Yeah, that's what it was. Well, that's what, so Kevin goes to me, how are we going to spring shot this? And I said, well, I've got a prominent book of business that I'll carry over, which will be great cash flow. I said, but I need to put the band back together for Magellan. So I rehired.
You knew that was your goal.
I knew it.
That was
I
your
knew
ticket.
that they had all left Magellan.
Yeah.
2 went to work at Apollo, and 1 was still at Magellan. Apollo, Magellan, all the Greek
I love
But they had
mythology.
to see your
Love them.
They had to see your vision.
Yeah, they did. They bought into it.
They bought into it.
And I
right
said,
away.
guys, look, like this is going to be, here's the compensation plan, which they loved. I said, and look, this is what this culture is going to be. I was like, look, this place is going to be about company culture, great workplace environment. You guys are going to make a ton of money. My sales directors make $1 million a year.
And they're just
Pounding
pounding
the phone. Customer experience, building their books of business. So I said to Kevin, I go, I'm going to rehire Snowden Hernandez, Nick Cazaropel, and Joey.
What's up, Snowden and Joey? And
Snowden, Joey, and Nick, what up?
Nick.
Best guys ever. And Snow and Joe are partners. And Nick's my sales manager. And I'll include you guys on one of my sales manage. I'll include you guys on my sales call next week. They're every Tuesday at 11 a.m.
Yeah.
And like you can just feel the productivity.
I'll get my team involved in that too.
Dude, it's awesome. I'd love to like highlight some of your stuff.
Yeah.
You could highlight some of mine.
Yeah.
And we've just built a powerhouse of productivity. As my shout out to Eddie Silva, my COO, genius kid out of
I know
Georgetown.
Eddie. Is he from Rhode Island?
No.
Okay, I know
Yeah,
Eddie
New
Silva.
York area.
Yep.
Started out as a sales guy on the sales team, and he was like, "Look, I want to be part of the bigger picture. I want to be a leadership team member." And he runs our monthly management meeting, and he's in charge of all the P&L for the entire company. He just has such an understanding of the guerrilla sales team that we have.
I say that word, guerrilla sales, baby.
Like,
I love it.
and he sets the precedence for the other divisions because again, like operations, fulfillment, working with the FAA, those aren't like sexy things,
Right.
but they're absolutely critical
Necessary.
to safe
Yeah.
operation. It's because my sales guys get excited. They want to, Jake Paul, Little Baby, all the rappers. Like we're all bidding on P. Diddy's plane right now.
Oh,
P. Diddy's
my
plane's for sale.
goodness.
Honest to God.
How's that oil floor?
Ash, pull it up. It's gangster. Yeah, it's
I bet it is,
P. Diddy's
dude. I
plane.
mean,
It's
the
called
guy
Love
was-
Air. Love Air. It's a Gulfstream 550. It's gangster.
Oh, I saw
wow.
that.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's for sale.
Who is placing a bid on that? I saw somebody.
Me.
Was that you?
I just put a bid on it. I put a bid on
But
it for $25 million. That's what it's worth. I just sent the LOI the other day.
Is that matte black?
Is it a flat floor?
Dude, it's gangster. I've been in it.
Can
It's
I see
Podcast
inside of
on
it? Is
P.
there
Diddy's
pictures
plane.
inside?
Yeah, it looks like a typical G550.
Now, would you market that as P. Diddy's plane?
Definitely not. But like one of my clients out of the Boston area, I'll say what up to Mark. Mark would love to do this show, by the way.
Let's
Mark.
get him
You
on,
would
man.
love
Let's get him
Mark.
on.
You would Mark Trachtenberg.
Yeah,
Okay.
let's get him on.
New money, like badass hard worker. New RM every week, new URIS every week. But he's just a good guy.
Yeah.
Again, like focused on his process, and his success is just a product of that.
Yeah.
And he's like, excuse my language. He's like, yo, it. Let's buy P. Diddy's plane.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you serious? And he's like, yeah. And I was like, all right, here's the LOI. And he signs it.
That's insane.
And I'm like,
What does he do?
titles.
Titles? That's what he does?
Silk Title Company.
Really?
Oh, they're gangster. He's the best too. He would love to do this show.
Let's get him on.
Yeah, definitely.
Let's get him on.
He's awesome too. And he's like a big part of him and I are both sorry, can you hear me?
Yeah, you
We're both a big part of the Boys and Girls Club. He's
yeah.
he's a Boys and Girls Club chair.
In Woonsocket here or
No,
just in general?
in Beverly.
In Beverly.
Oh, really?
Okay.
In the North Shore
No kidding.
chapter.
Yeah,
North
yeah,
Shore.
yeah. That would be sick. That would be cool, man. So
Yeah.
that would be what, your 26th?
26th.
26th.
I don't know if we're gonna get it. I mean, everybody's bidding on it.
What yeah, it's weird that
I don't know.
Was it just because it's super cheap right now?
Yeah, it's really like a $30 million plane,
Yeah.
but I think somebody will get it. So I just keep following up.
I mean, people were buying Dahmer stuff and bait stuff.
Yeah,
and
but I
it's
don't
like,
know about this. So that's
It's
I don't know if
weird,
people- I don't
but
know if
there are
people buy it
weirdos
just
out
'cause of
there
that.
that
We'll have to repaint it definitely because it's
Yeah.
very noticeable.
Yeah.
So to paint a Gulfstream 550 is about $300,000.
Really?
Oh yeah, dude. And then on the interior, we're gonna have to completely redo the interior, which we do because we have our own
So
interior.
you're looking at $1 million right there between paint and interior.
At least
Yeah.
$750 at least for the interior.
And that's out of pocket.
Out of pocket.
There's no.
But yeah, the prospectus owner will take on that expense
There's
as,
no
as part of
OPM
the
on that.
investment.
So I used to be stationed at Andrews Air Force Base when I was in the Air Force. And
thank you for your service.
You're welcome. My
Crushed
pleasure. I learned a lot. Again, it was a big, huge lesson that I'm glad that I did at that time in my life. I was 22,
like,
23.
in the field, crazy stuff.
I went to Afghanistan,
Wow.
but so I
How many months
learned
in
about
theater?
planes through there.
How many months in theater?
I was there for 8 months.
Oh, wow. Incredible.
Yeah. And I actually offered to stay longer because the experience, like you were saying earlier, some people work hard and better under pressure. And that was me. The surgeries we were bringing in were so, nothing can ever touch that type of adrenaline.
You got to tell these stories to my wife.
My wife is she into medical?
Loves that shit. Yeah, she's a
we'll talk
nurse.
for hours. That's right.
Nurse.
That's right. So I started medical before I went into entrepreneurship.
Right.
Because it took a lot of years of learning, like you, to understand what I needed to do. But yeah, the Air Force is what got me into airplanes, and we got to see Air Force One and the president landing all the time.
That's awesome.
And then we took the largest plane to Afghanistan. So these are definitely gorgeous. Nothing like cool. What they put us on.
Yeah, I know, right?
This is what I want to fly.
Yeah. So let's talk about your cars, man, and your racing.
Where do we start, man? I love this race car, dude. I love this.
I want to start with this. You had your third child.
Yeah.
Right.
Just recently.
My little boy, Bo.
Correct me if I'm wrong. You had your third child, and then you bought the race car right around the same time.
No, I started racing in.
Beautiful baby, by the way.
Thank you. I started racing in October of 2022. So I've been really involved in motorsport as a car enthusiast my whole life. But Kevin and I got involved. Dude, that's a badass shot. Isn't that a badass shot?
Dude, when I saw that.
Tom Cruise.
Yeah, that's insane. And
that was like my Tom Cruise moment.
So how
are you
fast
scared
do you
shit
go?
driving
Yeah,
those?
like,
dude, go to my wreck. Scroll down to the wreck. I tubbed one of these things doing a $190.
No way.
How
3 months ago? Full brake failure at a $150. Full brake failure at a $150. Car was a complete loss.
What's your race car?
$250.
And this is your hobby.
Yeah, this is my hobby.
I'm guessing your life insurance is really expensive.
It is. I pay a significant premium
for life
because
insurance.
I am like when I was buying life insurance, they're like, tell us about this racing thing.
Yeah.
Well, it's kind of
disqualify me first, or what?
They're like, no, it's just going to be super expensive.
Yeah,
so you're in the air, and then you get down from the air, and you jump in a 200-mile-an-hour car. Yeah. Okay. Here's your premium.
Yeah.
So 5 years ago, Kevin, my partner.
Wow, that's it right there.
Yeah, it's badass, dude. It's the best.
Scroll over, Ash.
Yeah, it's my Lamborghini Super Trofeo.
When did you get that? Is that the one you crashed in?
That's the one I tubbed. Yeah, that thing's destroyed.
So it's done.
Yeah, but my new one's even more badass. My green one. Oh, I love the green one.
Oh wow, yeah.
I did the green aesthetic for the. I did the green aesthetic for the military green.
So
awesome.
Do you compete? Like, is this
Dude, this is like a very legitimate.
Is it really? It's like a league.
Oh yeah, dude. We're on TV.
Really?
Yeah. What's interesting is his number is 55, which is Michael's.
Yeah, that's my number.
That's his favorite number.
Yeah. All right, so let me give you the scoop in 30 seconds. So
take a minute.
Yeah. So Lamborghini Super Trofeo is a single spec motorsport series by Lamborghini, sanctioned by IMSA, which is like Major League Baseball. It's a 12 series race that spans the entire country. In its participants range from professionals to amateurs like me. So 5 years ago, when we kind of got Fly Alliance up and running, I was like, look, a big part of our success needs to be branding with the right industries. Kevin, my brilliant partner, huge NASCAR guy. So like we're sponsoring like Denny Hamlin, Kyle Larson, Matt DiBenedetto, Jeb Burton. We're like spending a lot of money on these NASCAR sponsorships. And like there's a decent solid ROI from it. Like we're getting business back from it. I go to him, I go, listen, I think I'm going to make a run in this motorsport thing, like personally. And he's like, what do you mean? I was like, I think I'm going to drive. And he's like you're going to drive, or we're going to like hire a driver. And I was like, no, I'm going to drive. Like, this is me like thinking back to my adolescence, like check the bucket, like check the box, like race car driver. So I enroll in Skip Barber's 5-day advanced school at Sebring, Florida. I meet my coach to this day. Shout out Aaron. He's the best. And I perform really well at the school. And what I said to Aaron was, I want to make sure that I've got the competence to do this well. I know that I'm like motivated enough to do it well, but I want to make sure that I'm competent enough to do it well, but I also don't want to be a hazard to myself and the other drivers. Like I work 100 hours a week. I'm a very present dad, and like I enjoy a cheese.
You need to be available.
Yeah, and I enjoy a cheeseburger on the weekend.
Yeah.
So like, can I still do this? And he's like, yeah, you should start with like Mazda Miata or like the BMW, E36s. And I'm like, that's kind of like whack. And he's like, what do you mean? I was like,
grandfather had a Miata.
And he's like, and I'm like, no, I'm doing this for branding. Like, I need you to understand this. Like, I'm doing this for branding, and like my personal development from it is going to be like a byproduct.
Was that really the goal?
True story.
Okay.
He's like, well, where are you thinking of starting? I was like, I'm going to start in Lamborghini Super Trofeo. And he's like, Chris, the people that race in Lamborghini Super Trofeo are like world-class professionals. Like they race F1, they race in NASCAR, like, and then the amateurs that compete are billionaires. And I said, bingo. My investment in Lamborghini Super Trofeo, which has been from the company and my personal investments, has paid for itself 10 times over.
Oh, see, I wish more people understood that.
Marketing.
Everybody thinks that I'm there just like
Everything's about
racing
marketing.
the car. I'm like, dude, I'm meeting
know.
other billionaires that race cars.
I know.
That
That
fly
need to
private.
fly.
That
They
fly
need to
privately. Underneath the wing, it says fly private.
Oh, okay.
So like people come up to me at the
I see it
race.
right there.
Yeah, fly private under the wing.
Yeah.
People come up to me. Now, like this is a really tight-knit community. People have come up to me and been like, Chris, my airplane's down for maintenance. I need to get home from the race. Bang. One of my racers, true story, calls me this past weekend. He goes, hey, I'm in Barcelona racing my Lamborghini. I tubbed it. I destroyed it. I was racing a split co-driver event, and what they do is a driver change. 5-point harness, gets in the driver change. When we pull up the groin strap, we're supposed to put our manhood in the middle.
Yeah.
Misses that, tubs his Lamborghini, ruptures his right testicle.
Oh.
He goes, I'm at a hospital in Barcelona. I need to get home to Milwaukee right now. I go, and I'll use a different name. I go, Bob, this is going to cost you $300,000. He goes, I don't care.
Yeah.
You don't think that car has paid for itself 10 times over?
Just that.
Just that. So like everyone like, and dude, it's such a humbling sport. Like, dude, you get out there and like,
you gotta be in shape, don't you?
Dude, my friend, like,
are you sore when you get out?
Dude, I am wiped. My friends will tell you, like, I'm a good driver. Like, I'm a good driver on the highway. I'm a good driver on the road. Like, I'm very aware, but like, I have no problem pushing the limits of the car. I get out there and I'm like child's play to these kids. Like, I'm working my ass off, and we're all driving the same Lamborghini, and there's 45 other drivers in the series, and they're doing it 5 seconds faster than me.
Sheesh.
Dude, these kids are animals. And they're 18, 19, 20 years old. These kids been on simulators since they were 5 years old.
That's the new, like, that's the new
way of
yes.
it, the way of training.
Dude, I just got one. These simulators are games.
Oh, I saw that.
I try to be motivating, and like I try to like make fun of myself because
that's it though.
That's it. Like,
Yeah.
I don't put up stuff like that because like I don't want to come up as like
cocky.
materialistic and like
it's
this
not,
dude's
though.
got a $50,000 simulator in his house.
If people know you, who cares?
That's what it is. I know.
Don't
Mike, but
worry
this
about
day and age, that's the thing. Like, so many guys our age are doing it wrong.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wow, man, they're like, that guy's such a good kid. And I'm like, he just looks like a materialistic asshole.
Yeah, I know.
And it's like, it's too bad because like, that's not really who it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I know.
But like, you do, the simulators are huge. I just got my simulator.
Yeah.
I bartered it for a flight. And
Wait, how much do those go for?
Dude, my simulator is like 60 G's.
Really?
And
Yeah.
you were able to put it in the plane?
No, I bartered it.
Oh,
Like,
you bartered it.
I traded it. I traded it. Yeah.
Okay.
I traded it.
That's smart.
Obviously, I pay for the flights at a significant discount.
Right.
So Chandler calls me up and he's like, yo, I got to get a Monterey Car Week. And he's in Nashville. And I go, that's a 6-hour flight, dog. And he's like, 12 people, Nashville to Monterey. What's it going to cost me? I'm like $60,000. I can do it. Plane will be ready in 4 hours. Go to the airport. He's like, pick out a simulator of your choice. Bang.
God.
Done.
Done. Wow.
Wow.
So yeah, man, in short, motorsport's been great to me.
Wow.
It's
You
a
gotta be
really,
careful, man.
yeah, dude.
Gotta be
that's,
careful.
That's the thing. I gotta
You
be
got
dude, like,
way too much going on.
way too much going on. With
Yeah.
3 kids,
Just be careful.
3 kids under 3, all my entrepreneurial stuff.
Yeah,
we're building a house.
People need you.
Oh,
You got
wow,
300.
I appreciate you
You
saying
got
that, dude.
300 people that are.
I appreciate that, dude.
Yeah.
I got out of that car when I wrecked that thing in Laguna.
Yeah, you got lucky.
And I was like,
Laguna Beach, California.
yeah, right there. That's where I wrecked
my
it.
favorite.
It's the best.
Yeah.
Carmel by the sea.
And I love Corona Del Mar as well.
Oh, dude, it was incredible. And I got out of that thing and I was like, dang. I got out of that thing. I'll send you the whole clip. Maybe we'll incorporate the whole clip. I got out of that thing and I called up my wife and I go, because I know how they broadcast the events. They always put on the cars that are wrecked.
Yeah, of course.
I called up Christina and I'm like, I'm all right. And she's like, that looked.
She was watching.
She's like, that looked brutal. I go, it sucked. But they're wicked safe.
How was it? Did you feel safe?
Like
it wasn't that bad.
Really? Because
it was 150 into a wall. It wasn't.
Honestly,
I know that
even just looking at it from the video, it kind of just looked like it was
dude,
like
you're so strapped into this thing.
So you're
There's
protected.
Bars over you.
But that thing can light up in flame. I mean,
dude, that's why I punched my way out of the roof.
Oh, good.
Do you lose weight when you?
Oh my God!
Because it seems
Talk
like it
about
would
being
be
on
hot.
a diet.
I think you lose 5 pounds every race.
It's
I think that's a stat.
incredible.
Ash, pull that up. I'm pretty sure there's a certain amount of weight that you lose every
heat.
race.
At least. That's why, like, not only am I trying to compete with these professionals in their arena as an amateur, but like you got to do it safely. Like all the amateurs, we bow out all the time because we're dehydrated or it's too hot on the track. We lose like anywhere from like 3 to 5 pounds a race.
Race car drivers can lose a significant amount of weight during a race, sometimes up to 10 pounds.
I look unbelievably thin after a race.
Really? You can notice it?
Dude, my face is sleek. I got the jawline.
You got the mew.
I'm like, I'm not gonna even eat anything until someone takes a picture of me.
I love it.
I go, look,
That's the first thing that goes
top
to me
5
too.
finish in my class, back of the pack, but
yeah,
I got the photo op.
I got the thin. I got the jawline. That's the first thing that I get to when I start gaining weight. My face. It goes
Oh
right to
my God,
face.
yeah. No, I'm 195 now. It's 230.
Really?
Dude, when I met Christina, like hanging out with the wrong groups, drinking.
Dude, when I met Sheena, I was 300 pounds.
No way.
Yeah.
Serious.
What do you weigh now?
235.
Yeah,
you look great.
Yeah, 240.
You still lifting heavy?
No, I'm done with that shit.
What do you bench?
I can bench 310, but I don't.
You can bench 310?
Yeah.
So you can rep out 225.
Yeah.
I feel like as a guy, like when we were younger, once you got to 225, you never bench less than 225.
Yeah, but dude, it's not good for you.
Oh, it's awful.
Flat benching is terrible. I don't even flat bench anymore.
Really? You just do
Not
the
at
Smith machine?
No, so I'll do incline dumbbells.
You look great.
thank you.
235?
Yeah.
So I was 230.
I carry my weight very well.
I was 230. Now I'm 195. I think I'm going to call it at like 190. I'll be happy there. But like I feel healthier.
Dude, if you feel good, you know what? We talk about this all the time. Like sometimes we go on these diets. It's like we're eating fucking 2 rice cakes and like oatmeal for breakfast and 6 egg whites and this. And it's like, it's cool, right? It gets us lean. You get the 6-pack. We look good. We feel good. But we bond at night eating together and having a good meal.
Who doesn't?
And going out and having some wine and just relaxing. And
who doesn't?
you know, so like that's very important to us is to structure that in with our life.
Totally.
And as long as I feel good and I look good in a suit, I don't care.
Yeah.
If I look good, if I
look great.
if I can present myself in a business sense, and I look decent, I don't look like a slob, I'm fine.
Athletic.
I'm at that point.
Athletic, broad, professional.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the look.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like I think my sister said
Healthy.
something like sport leisure.
Yeah.
I got to introduce you to my sister too. Ash, pull up my sister's page. I got to get Jacqueline on this.
Yeah.
My sister has such an influence that's beyond her reach.
Well, how so? What'd she do?
She's got a little movement called Miss Petite Pilates.
Oh, I know.
Pilates.
You follow her.
My sister Jacqueline's like a dynamo.
Miss Petite, what's her
Dude,
name?
look at my sister's aesthetic.
Lynn.
That's not the same. It's different.
Oh,
Look at this one. Look at my sister's aesthetic, dude. My sister.
Yeah, she's using those neutral.
My sister's 42.
What?
She is? Oh, that's awesome. I'm 40. So
She looks, I tell her, I go, you look 25.
Oh, she does.
She's got this huge following, man.
Really?
She does. Yeah. She just picked up this whole Pilates things. Pilates, like she's such an amazing mother.
Oh.
My sister's a world-renowned singer, sang with like Elton John, like sang with all the classics. Dove into motherhood. Her daughter, my niece, my goddaughter Grace is 10. Her son Jack's 7.
Pull up that picture right there on the side of the MPP. So is that her company? Is that her business?
Miss Petite Pilates.
Does she do candles and stuff too?
No, that's just her. She's a big like partnership girl.
Oh, okay.
Huge, profound influence. And
That's
she picked up the whole Pilates thing. She's like, hey, I'm going to get my Pilates certification. She like came back and then like one class turned into 3. She has like, I think she teaches 4 days a week, 3 classes a day, sold out every day.
Wow. She has a location. She has like a brick and mortar location.
Yeah, Western Cranston. Yeah,
Cranston's hopping in place.
right on Plainfield Pike.
Let's get her on.
Dude, she crushes it.
Let's get her on.
It'd be fun to do like have another part 2 with all of us.
Oh, you know what
together.
we should do? Do a part 2 with. Would your wife come on?
Love it.
Yeah,
Dude, we should do a part 2 with
your
all of
sister
us.
and
I
your
can't wait
wife.
for us, the 4 of us, to go out to dinner.
Yeah, that's gonna be
You
cool.
two and me and my wife.
Yeah,
It would be fun.
that's gonna be sick.
We'll just run this.
Yeah. Want to hear a funny story? So last year, I thought I was 37 when I was 36.
I lied to you before. I'm not 36. I'm 37.
You're 37?
I always
did you do that on
this is his
purpose?
I did it on
story.
purpose.
Really?
And I was like, wow, he might fact check me. I'm an 86.
Okay, me too.
Yeah. I was like, dude, I'm
October
gonna be
27,
38.
But he said he was 37. But
I'm gonna
on
be
Sunday he'll be 38.
I'm gonna be
Yeah,
30,
yeah,
dude,
yeah,
I'm gonna be
yeah.
38 in 3 weeks. We're
Yeah.
the same exact age.
Okay, I got you. Bill Buckner. My mom went into labor because of Bill Buckner.
Really?
Yes,
Yeah.
Bill Buckner.
I ejected Bill Buckner from a baseball game as an umpire.
That's so funny.
Full circle, baby.
Right.
You ejected Bill Buckner, and Bill Buckner ejected me.
Me.
He was a first base. He was a first base coach of the Brockton Rocks in the summer of 2011. Independent baseball team based out of Brockton.
Yeah.
And he thought that I blew a call at first. And I go, Bill. I go, you're going to get on me for blowing a call at first base?
Shit. You don't know
I
about
don't
Bill
know,
Buckner, but
but-
he's quite the legend around here.
Is he?
Yeah.
Red Sox legend. Yeah. I think, 1986?
1986,
when we were born.
October 27th.
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
1986.
So-
Blew the World Series. The ball went through his legs. Blew it.
They would have won the World Series. It was a simple base hit to first base.
Ash, pull it up.
Yeah, please. Simple. I'll let you watch.
Are we going to
it.
get into 90s movies after this, please? We
Yeah,
got to get into
yeah,
90s.
Let's jump into
sitcoms.
it. Let's jump into it.
Dude, 1986. World
Watch this.
Between
Watch
the legs.
this. Okay, so we got pitcher. That is ready. He makes this catch. He brings it to first base. Game over. Sox win the World Series. He missed it.
Can you believe it? He blew it.
And my mother freaked out and went into labor.
Oh,
Because of
wow,
this.
what a
Because of this.
story.
That is awesome.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That is awesome.
Dude, I miss the steroid era.
Oh, dude,
I
Barry
seriously
Bonds.
do, man. Like these guys would just. I think it just made the sport so much more entertaining.
Ah, dude, I love
There's too
I
much-
love the era that, because you and I are the same exact age.
Yeah,
I love the age that we had.
yeah, me too.
Like, I love the eras that we had. Like,
were you into skateboarding and shit?
I liked Tony Hawk.
Yeah, 'Cause that was
I
big
never
for me.
skated because I was always worried about being injured in sports.
Yeah.
But like, I liked the whole movement.
Yeah,
Tony's a client of ours.
My
Oh, really?
sister is a professional skateboarder in California.
No way.
Yeah, she goes under Mama Skate, so she made the
Cool.
first unisex pants for skateboarders.
Oh,
and,
sick.
You know, she's in that whole Tony Hawk world.
Yeah, that movement's
But
huge.
yeah.
her other sister was just on a Starbucks commercial.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
so both of them have their SAG award credits. And
Nice.
So they've done Justin Bieber, and I mean, they're in it to win it and
Good for
live
you.
it. And so
That's
it's fun.
awesome.
But yeah, the injuries are
Bad.
all the time, and they're
My
really
dad
I was
was
a
on
big
me.
skateboarder.
My dad was on me about not skating.
Really?
Yeah.
He's like, you're gonna destroy your
your
ankles,
knees, your
Yeah,
everything.
so I'm banged up right now, pretty bad between boxing,
Who do
wrestling.
you box with?
Manfredo?
Oh, I boxed with Greg Rebello.
Oh yeah,
Shout out Greg.
yeah. Greg's awesome.
Dude, Greg
Greg's
is
awesome.
the
we went
best.
to see Greg.
Dude,
The last fight we went to for Jimmy.
Okay.
Yeah, I used to work for CES for a while.
you know what I love? Yeah, Jimmy's the best.
Yeah, dude, you know how much I learned from Jimmy.
Senior
Shout out
or
to Jimmy.
junior?
Senior.
Yeah. I don't know senior as well. I know junior well.
Junior's gonna come on the podcast.
Nice.
Senior, and shout out to Jimmy Senior. He has taught me so much about business in the 2 years that I was with him.
Yep.
Gratitude,
Gratitude.
gratitude, paying it forward, never missing a holiday, never missing a thank you, sending cards.
Dude,
If it's your freaking mother's Valentine's Days, birthdays,
Do it.
sisters, cousins, aunt,
Do it.
send a card.
Yeah.
I've never had the privilege of being in his company, but I'm connected with him on Facebook. Anytime anyone has any type of event, a life event, first comment I always see.
Yeah, if I get the chance to introduce you to him, I will, man.
I know Junior well.
Yeah.
I know Junior through Zach.
Yep.
Shout out Zach. Zach's a big friend, great friend, better mentor to me, especially when I was rock bottom.
Mm-hmm.
And that whole, like that Birchfield, Zach Levesque, Greg Rebello, dude, like that whole boxing thing, like changed my life. I was so down getting divorced. And then I turned to boxing because I needed some type of like organized competition. Like that's what another thing that I love about, let me give another plug to racing. It's like the way that it's organized.
Yeah.
And it gives me a competitive, because again, I was a Division I baseball player. And like I lost that after Fairfield. And so whether it's racing or like, don't get me wrong, like I love to lift. But like, I just kind of lost that like motivation to be in the gym and lift heavy every day.
Mm-hmm.
But like boxing with Greg gives me like kind of a purpose. Does that make sense?
Are you still with him? Like you train with him
twice a week?
Oh, good.
Mondays and Fridays, 8 a.m.
That's awesome.
Yeah. A buddy of mine approached me and he was like, "You're going to do Mike's podcast?" And I was like, "Of course I am." And he's like, "Do you know Mike?" And I'm like, "Not from Adam." I'm like, I feel like, and now spending 2 hours with you right now, like I feel like we were separated at birth.
Yeah.
Because we were.
Yeah.
But like, I was like, dude, like it's about like, not only making an impact in people, but like giving someone the opportunity to.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Of course, man.
Yeah.
Of course.
So I'm right there with you.
Yeah. And listen, I appreciate that. I appreciate coming on, like not knowing me.
Dude, it's my privilege to be here.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah.
Like I'm all about, like the content is great. This is a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But like if someone sends me a message or sends you a message and it was like, I learned something from listening from you and Chris.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's all that matters to me.
We say it all the time. And we are now. We are getting those messages.
It's awesome.
Saying one of our employees, Stephanie, that works for us, she lost 60 pounds since she started working for us.
Awesome.
Just from watching the things that we do and following the things that we're doing.
Not pushing her to do
You know how good that feels, dude?
Yeah, it's
you know how good that feels?
That's what my sister said to me the other day. She's like, where are you in your life in terms of luxury? And I'm like, Jacqueline, like I've been so blessed with, when we have my sister Eliana, who's older than Jacqueline, had a catastrophic stroke, like bad stroke. And she's made like a 90% recovery, right? So, so my mother lost my dad and then my sister had this catastrophic stroke. So my mother's entire life is dedicated to service. So like I mentioned that because I do everything that I can to make my family's life easier. And she's like, "What is it for you?" And I'm like, "It's not about any of the material success anymore. Like that's not even a thought of mine. It's specifically about the experience and the time remaining that I have with you guys."
Yeah.
Like if I can do one thing, to create a better experience for us or for our kids, I do it because it has such a bigger impact for me. Yeah. And like, that's so cliche. People say like, "Oh, why do you do this? Or why do you do that?" And it's like really like the genuine look on their faces from like that expression of like gratitude and the impact that you've changed someone else's life.
Yeah.
You can't put a price to it.
It gives me goosebumps just thinking about it.
It's awesome.
And you can see it in their face too. It's incredible.
It's awesome.
When you can give back like that.
You're the man, dude.
Excellent podcast. Thank you for coming on, Chris.
You're the man.
Awesome conversation. And we're going to do a part 2.
100%.
Yeah.
Right?
Let's
Ash, I'm coming back next week.
We'll talk about 90s movies and we'll
90s sitcoms.
We'll dive in.
Dude, we got to do it. We got to try because him and I are tough. Ash and you guys both need to moderate because we'll do like a non-business one.
Okay. That might be tough, but we'll try.
Fun.
That might be tough, but we'll try.
We're going to talk business for
Awesome.
sure.
She's never seen Goodfellas, by the way. We'll start with that.
And that's that.
So I have a lot to catch up on, but we're going to watch that tonight.
All right, guys, everybody, really quick, I just want to thank you for our sponsor, Eric Burns from Burns' Roofing. Excellent quality. If you guys are looking for any roofing needs, give him a call. And that is it, guys. That's episode 17 in the books. And thank you for watching.